Welcome back to Texas Cable News. We're talking tech and gadgets and all that fun stuff, and we're taking your calls this afternoon. 1-877-977-TXCN. Computer problems, gadget issues. This is your man. Jonathan in El Paso has taken us up on our offer. Hi, Jonathan. Thanks for calling in. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. I've got two questions. One of them's kind of crazy, and we all probably know the answer to it, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Go for it.
Okay. The first one is, I've got this keyboard. Now, during the course of its existence, food and stuff like that has just cluttered up inside of the keys.
Just crud.
So I decided it needed to be cleaned out. So I pried off all the keys, and I took it outside, and I hosed it down with the garden hose.
You did not.
Jonathan,
Now, water got on the inside, so I opened it up and,
store.
dried it off with a towel, and now it doesn't work right.
Yeah,
Shocking.
Go figure. Wow. Okay.
Dude, you're getting a new keyboard.
Did you find anything good in there? You know, pieces of sandwich or anything?
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Some little papers and things like that.
Let's take these one at a time. Not a good idea,
No,
huh?
probably not. Some keyboards are waterproof, though, and I showed one that was
Yeah.
flexible, the
Right.
silicone keyboard, which
Jonathan's was not.
No,
however.
no. But that was bad news, Jonathan.
So they're $14 at Computer Store, Jonathan. Run on.
What's the other question?
What's your other question?
Well, okay, my second question is, what do you think the impact of the new AMD Thoroughbred processor will have on Intel's market shares?
Well, AMD, the Thoroughbred, obviously is. Now, we'll see you guys later.
He goes from hosing down his keyboard to that.
Let's get some investments to make.
Right.
Let's go.
And what's great about Intel has always had the stranglehold on processors back from the 8086 days, before we had Windows. This is back in the DOS days. And I love that Intel has someone to compete against with AMD. And there used to be Cyrix, they were around, and that was an IBM, big Texas Dallas company, right? And a lot of the technology that went into that Cyrix chip and a lot of those partnerships have now gone into what's inside the Apple computers. So Cyrix is gone. But
So you said that you clearly before you're a PC guy, and now you seem on board with this. That seems like a rare transition on an emotional divide.
Yeah, at home I've got several Intel boxes. I've got 2 AMD boxes. So getting back to the AMD question, I love it, and I think it's great because it raises the bar for everything. And what I especially love about Mac and what they're doing with Apple is they manufacture and own the hardware. They own the operating system, which this is Unix-based, which I've teased Unix a little bit. It's very rock solid. This is OS X, which is the latest and greatest operating system. And then finally, they create all the applications as well. Like the application I have up now is iPhoto, which works with digital cameras. They've got iTunes, which works with music. They've got iMovie to work with the movies. So they've taken everything and they've brought it all in-house. And that way you don't have all the annoying lockups, crashes, incompatibilities. And what I hate most of all about PCs is all the finger pointing. If your software crashes, you call Microsoft. Well, it's not us. It's the word processor, or it's the hardware. It's the vendor. And what we're seeing with some of this Mac software now is they're licensing iTunes and some of these programs to companies like Sony. Now, Sony's really the only company that can come close to what Apple's doing with a complete solution. Obviously, Sony still uses Windows, but Sony can make the music player, they can make the computer, and they'll be licensing software like Apple. So I'm going to hope that we keep a lot of this robustness and lack of crashing as the Apple software goes into other computers.
What's that cost, the basic?
Great question. When the iMac first came out in 1998, it was $12.99. It did not come with a floppy, which this one does not either. But who uses a floppy anymore? You email files or you use a network. This computer starts at $12.99, including the LCD display. And I just love that you can drag this thing around and move it everywhere.
I guess I'm just not as freaked out by that as everyone else is. I'm just the fact that you can move. I mean, to me, when they showed it in January, everyone was like, ooh, and I was like,
normally, the monitor is a sacred area, and Jonathan Ivey, the designer of this computer, he says he wanted people to engage and pull it in closer or push it away.
Like
and actually, for now, I've got this thing in my kitchen because my computer room is full, as you guys can only imagine.
Shocking.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And it matches the decor, and with the LCD, it's just, oh, it's beautiful.
I think we have another call coming in from Waco while we get Patrick on the line from Waco. There he is. Hi, Patrick. Go ahead. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I'm running Windows XP, and I recently got one of these new HP drives that's able to archive things to DVD. And when I run Windows Movie Maker, the device will appear momentarily in Movie Maker, and then maybe after about 30 seconds, it disappears, and I get a crash with an assert error failure. It's obviously a C programming language error.
Right.
I guess in the driver for the IEEE 1394
That's right.
card.
Which the IEEE, this is the buzzword that all these, the DVD burners trying to communicate with the PC, and you use a software, the Windows Movie Maker, and which, first of all, I don't recommend using Windows Movie Maker. Go with an aftermarket program that, something like Adobe Premiere or some of the other applications that are out there. But what I have had to do in this same instance is he's trying to burn a DVD, which this Apple has a DVD burner in it as well. You can store 4.7 gigabytes, or about an hour, maybe 70 minutes of video on a DVD burner, but you need to make sure that you upgrade to the latest drivers, not only for your motherboard, but for Windows.
Yeah.
And you can also flash the code that sits on these DVD burners. And I just ejected mine here and put it back in there. And all of this has firmware that makes it interface with the computer. And if your firmware in your drive doesn't match what Windows is expecting or your application's expecting, it'll crash, just like what he's saying.
Not gonna like that.
And this is why Apple does it right, because they control everything and they make sure it works for you.
Roxanne, you've got the last call for the Gadget Guy.
It's Roxanne in Dallas. Hi, Roxanne. Go ahead.
Hi. Last year my husband bought me a Gateway computer for Mother's Day.
Turn that TV down there, Roxanne.
I'm sorry?
Can you turn
that
your TV
down
down?
so we don't get
I'm
that
sorry.
feedback? Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds cool anyway.
It does.
Okay. Well,
Robotic.
He bought me a Gateway from a computer for $1,500.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't do anything. How much did you say those iMacs run? Are they really expensive?
No, they start at $12.99, and it's set up in the box. I plugged it in the wall. It has a phone modem built into it. It has an Ethernet jack connected to the back of it, so if you have a cable modem, you can share that. And best of all, I put a wireless card in it, so now it shares my wireless network at home.
Wow, from
and
the kitchen.
that's on only a $90 upgrade. So for $12.99, you can be plugged in online on the internet in about 7.5 minutes, and you can take that number to the bank.
Can we come over and see your house
You want
sometime?
to? Let's do.
Yeah.
Let's go right now.
Just make it an iMovie.
Where are the color bars?
Run a DVD.
Thanks, Dave.
Gadget Guy Dave Matthews, thanks for joining.